Good afternoon or good morning. I'm Dr. Olson. Welcome to Drugs, Brain, and Behavior. This summer, we're going to be learning about drugs using a somewhat unique asynchronous online format. Let me jump here to the syllabus so we can jump right into it. So we are going to have a very consistent schedule in this class, and you're going to have many more opportunities or chances to participate than those that are required. Meaning that, for example, you'll have 15 quizzes corresponding to 15 modules over the course of the summer, but you only have to complete 10 of those 15 quizzes to earn full credit. In other words, 5 will be drops. So if you want to take 5 drops, 5 skips, or 5 mental health days, that's really completely up to you. After, in association with each quiz, you'll also be presented a thought question or material that is prepared by leading experts in the field, talking about highly timely, relevant, and controversial subject matter. For these, you will have to prepare a 200 to 300 word summary of your thoughts and post them to a discussion thread in Canvas. After doing so, you need to respond to at least one of your peers' posts to, facilitate some sort of peer-peer interaction on those thought questions. Finally, you're going to be required to join a learning community. Here, rather than hearing the lecture material from me or generating a thought question using expert content, you will join a learning community where you're going to consider drugs through either watching movies, listening to music associated with drugs, or reading a book associated with drugs. Uh, from this, you will make 4 posts, discussion posts, to earn full credit for the discussion component of this assignment to a discussion thread for your community. You can, of course, post many times, much more than 4, but 4 will be the bare minimum to earn full credit for the discussion component of that assignment. Based on your thoughts and discussions as part of your learning community, you also create a thesis statement for a critical thinking paper. First, you will submit an outline to me using a template at the end of the syllabus. We will do that at midterm. I will give that back to you, and then you will submit the final paper to me in place of a final exam at the end of the term. Note that all movies or music do not need to be included in that. There's really no minimum. You could focus on as little as one module or one song or one movie even. We will have a variety of discussions over, somewhat controversial subject matter, depending on the perspectives that you come from. So here, first of all, remember that you have a tremendous amount of flexibility and choice in the discussions that you participate in. If, for example, you don't want to discuss concepts associated, with a particular topic, you could schedule around that. But if you do find yourself in a discussion room that makes you very uncomfortable or is offending your beliefs, you may leave. And I encourage you to do so, particularly if the discussions or subject matter are causing you harm or trauma. And know that I can rearrange or drop a particular discussion if you did have to exit it. And of course, same goes with lecture material as well. If there is some issue with lecture material for you personally, we can address that. And at the very least, I would be happy to know so I can, improve my lecture material for the future. For accessibility and accommodation, know that I think of these things relatively broadly, and I, understand that there are many challenges that may arise for you as an individual to complete the course. I do not see my deadlines as being there to trip you up. I see them as being there to keep you on track to finish a class on time. Therefore, if there is something, and again, these are very broad concepts that is preventing you from completing this class or meeting deadlines on time, please email me and we can create a plan to help you get through the class and complete everything on time. We do take discrimination incredibly seriously at the University of Colorado, Denver. Note also, that you can contact the Title IX coordinator using this email address if you feel that you have been discriminated against. I certainly encourage you to contact them. So here you can see our schedule of events with our due dates. Now, this is a summer class. These dates are going to come quickly. So I highly recommend that you stay on schedule as much as possible. Again, I understand life is going to get in the way at times, and we will help guide you through that. And also remember, you have a tremendous amount of flexibility and drops in this class or choice. I do recommend that you at least review the lecture material for modules 2 and 3. Really, modules 1, 2, and 3 would be a very good idea, only because this content is about the basic concepts of pharmacology and is sort of built on in later units and modules. You could, probably still do fine on latter quizzes, but those first three are pretty important to at least review the material, even if you choose not to take those particular quizzes. Uh, so, and then you can actually find the lecture material if you scroll down next to prepare this section to prepare for quizzes and or thought questions. You should review the following. For each module, you would review my recordings, which are posted in Canvas. And then, for example, if you wanted to take part in this thought discussion dot paragraph, you would generate that using this material from David Nutt. Uh, you know, so choose the thought paragraphs that you want to prepare wisely. We will touch on a broad variety of topics, including varieties of drugs of abuse, those used in psychiatric medicine. Are SSRIs effective? Uh, are is abusing cannabis or other drugs of abuse early in adolescence, or could that set you up to develop psychiatric disorders later? Uh, we have these vaccines now for addiction. What would you think about giving people vaccines to prevent drugs from acting in their brain? Pretty crazy. That technology exists. What do we do about that? So anyway, you will see that there's a breadth of choices for you, and some of these also get into methods and big picture concepts concerning methods in the field of neuropsychopharmacology. For example, why aren't we tailoring medicine to the future? Thoughts on animal research. How can we better take into account differences in sex and gender that might impact how a drug produces its effects on the body? And then finally, here what is the information about your community, your learning community, which I also at times call the media club or the movie, book, and music club. So here are the instructions for the outline and the paper due at the end of the term. Note that the page links are a little different, and I adjusted that depending on the time that I anticipated it will take to consume the media. So for example, if you pick the music club, you'll have to write a little longer paper than if you join the book club. Now you can find the links to the media here, similar to the thought paragraphs. I tried to just build everything in and put everything on clouds. I'm sure we'll encounter a broken link here or there, so let me know when that arises, and I can do my best to fix it. For the book club, you'd be reading Bill Pollan's How to Change Your Mind about emerging concepts in using psychedelics. Uh, Mixtape for music, we have a wide variety. I tried to create these around themes. First, sort of early psychedelic things, exploring the expansion of the mind with drugs, just people documenting drug abuse. I did a special unit on the drug deal. There's quite a bit there. And then on drugs and society, some pretty intense concepts in there. Then when we covered lecture cannabis, I threw in a variety of the cannabis anthems that have been written over the years. And then we conclude by getting into the dark side of drugs and drug abuse, where we document some of the same musicians that were previously celebrating drugs, talking about how hard it is to quit once you go down that path and some of the benefits of possibly staying away or staying sober. Now, for the movies, again, you have a wide variety here. Birds of Passage is well, they're all fantastic in my opinion. Otherwise, I wouldn't have picked them. But Birds of Passage is about the impact of the drug manufacturing on indigenous populations in South America. Flight is a Denzel Washington film about what happens when your drug abuse sort of gets the best of you and it starts to impact very seriously those that you work with or for. Krisha is a very right. It's essentially about someone who has gone down the bad path with drugs and is trying to sort of reconnect a little bit to reintegrate with their family. Pain and Glory, The House I Live In, and our Drugstore Cowboy and Requiem for a Dream are the final four. I won't go over each of them. You can sort of explore these a little bit on your own. Know as well that some of these contain content that could be considered or could trigger certain sensitivities. So again, be take that into mind as well. And again, if you have started down a particular music theme or a movie that starts to become problematic for you, we can of course pull back and adjust accordingly. So that's it. It's going to be fast. It's going to be intense, but I hope it's also educational and, frankly, hopefully enjoyable. I've tried to make this class as interesting and engaging as possible. We are using several high impact practices that I think facilitate deeper learning than only memorizing content. And, I think we have a good system with flexibility and equity and a consistent schedule built in. Please let me know if you have any questions. I can set up a Zoom meeting with you on demand. I, will also respond to the virtual office very quickly, and I'm very happy to respond to any emails. So, have a great summer and a great class.